Hey guys, welcome back for another video. So I have a special guest with me. This is Barry. He is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Here, I'll let y'all get a better view of him. He's looking out the window at the mailman right now. So I just wanted to share with you guys just some, information about Corgis, and it might give you some insight on whether you want to get a Corgi yourself. They're very popular dogs, not really in my area. I'm from Alabama, so you don't really see them as often. But you see them a lot on TV, and they're well known as the Queen's dog. So the Queen of England, she has, quite a few Corgis. So, yeah, they're basically dogs of royalty. So I'm just going to go over like 5 essential things I think y'all need to know about Corgis. This is just my list of what I wish I had known, which I did do my research before I got my Corgi, but these are things that I think that everybody should know before they get a Corgi. So the first thing you need to know is that there are 2 different types of Corgis. There are Pembroke Welsh Corgis, which is what Barry here is, and then there's also what we call cardigan Corgis. The difference between those two, more so Corgis have more like, I want to say like Corgis have pointier ears and the cardigans have more rounded ears. They definitely have different ears. And then cardigans, they have different types of tails. So generally they tend to still have their tails. Pembroke Welsh Corgis are docked usually here in the US, unfortunately. They have beautiful tails. They're like these, they look kind of like little foxtails, like little fans, and they're adorable. And cardigans have long tails just as well. I think they're a little bit thicker, but they tend to still have their tails here in the US. So yeah, that's kind of the main differences. Also, cardigan Corgis are usually bigger than Pembroke Welsh Corgis. Those are the main differences between the two, and they're both adorable. I just went with the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. I thought they were very cute, and they seem to be a little bit more common in this area. Corgis are not very common in Alabama in general, but the few that I did see, they did have a lot of Pembroke Welsh Corgis. Alright, so the next thing you want to know about Corgis is that they are herding dogs. So they were born and bred to herd cattle and horses and other animals. So basically how they do that is they'll follow the horse or the cattle or whatever, and they'll nip at their heels, and that will make them go the direction that they want them to go. And so Corgis are natural born nippers, biters, chewers. So that's something. Okay. No, he's sleepy now. So that's something to keep in mind when you get a Corgi. If you don't want to deal with having to teach biting and stuff, I feel like that's kind of unavoidable with any dog you get. Every puppy phase, pretty much you have to teach dogs not to chew, not to bite, and that varies with the individual dogs, but Corgis are known to bite, they're known to nip, and that's something you have to teach them at a very early age that it's not okay to do often. Barry, he's pretty good about not biting hard. At one point as a puppy, I did have to teach him how to do that, and a good video to look up for training dogs would be McCann Dogs. I believe it's called McCann Dogs Academy. But it's basically the trainer, they basically teach the dogs pretty much everything as from a puppy to being an adult. And they teach, chewing on that. Like right now he's like trying to chew on this pillow that he's laying on. So they teach like how to teach your dog to walk calmly on leash. They teach, how to prevent your puppy from biting, and things like that. They'll teach all sorts of things. So I definitely recommend their channel. I've, trained Barry from that channel, and he still has a long way to go, but he has done significantly better. He definitely had an issue with chewing as a puppy, and it's still something that we're working on with him, but he's much, much better. So yeah, that's definitely something you'll want to consider. When you get a Corgi, you have to make sure you clear out everything, get everything off the floor, and you have to guard your furniture, because they will, if you leave them for a second, they will find the time and they will find something to get into and chew on and destroy. So that is something to keep in mind if you're going to get a Corgi. Also, it's important to teach your dog not to bite, especially if you have children or, you know, just around strangers and stuff. So the next thing to know about Corgis is that they will draw attention from basically anywhere you go. So if you're walking in the park or walking around your neighborhood or taking them to the vet, people will stop, and 9 times out of 10 they will say,
"It's a Corgi."
They will point it out, you know, pretty much every time, every day. There's so many times that I've just been walking beer in the park, or I'll be walking in the neighborhood, like, didn't want to talk to nobody, and, you know, people will want to come up and they'll want to get a picture with him, or, you know, they want to come pet him, and, you know, can you blame him? He's very cute. They're very cute. He's sleeping right now, so I'm not going to bother him. All right, and these last 2 things to know about Corgis I think are the most important. You definitely want to know, if you're getting a Corgi, that they are very intelligent creatures. So Corgis are some of the most intelligent dogs, which can be an amazing thing. You know, they can learn so many things. They're great at agility, and they learn fast. But that does make them also able to outsmart you. Corgis, they have big personalities, and they will find ways to outsmart you in a minute. So you have to always be on guard and, you know, make sure that look at me. And you got to make sure that you don't let them get ahead of you. Like Barry, for instance, has figured out, you know, if I want him to go in his crate, like, even if I have treats or anything, he's like, no, I don't want to go in the crate, so I'm not going to go. And he is stubborn, and he will not go because he knows that I'm going to put him in the crate. So he has also figured out how to open the door to the porch, and he just, I don't know how he figured it out. So, yeah, he'll just like bump it with his nose and just walk right in. Let's see, what else have you done that's been bad or mischievous? He's just good about like getting away with things. Like if he has something he shouldn't have, he will take it and like run under the bed with it, or run somewhere he knows that we can't get it. And Corgis are fast, so make sure you are ready to run after them if they have something dangerous in their mouth or something that you need to get from them. That's something that I'm still working on with him, like teaching him not to keep things away, because he's very smart, and he will only run with things he knows he's not supposed to have. Like if it's one of his toys or his bones, he's fine. He knows that I'm not gonna, like, you know, even if I take it from him, he's fine with it. But if it's like something of mine, or like a shoe or something, he will definitely run with it. Like Corgis are very strong. They can be very stubborn and mischievous and get into things. They require a lot of mental stimulation. You can't just leave a Corgi to, you know, play with a ball or something. That's why it's good to have like toys and things that they can, like, you know, put their teeth into, like, yeah, having a Kong and putting some peanut butter in it, or, you know, just like toys that you can put treats in. They love that, and that can keep them busy for a while. But, you know, if you don't keep the Corgi busy, they will find a way to keep themselves busy, and it will be in a way that you will not be happy with. Definitely don't want to find your Corgi like chewing on your bookshelf, which I have found him doing. All right, and the last thing I want to talk about Corgis is that they are high energy dogs. I cannot stress this enough for anybody who wants a Corgi. Corgis are high energy dogs. Of course, that depends with each individual dog, but generally Corgis, you know, they need to be let out to run. They need exercise daily. You know, you have to take them on walks, and a great way to exercise corgis is playing fetch, using mental stimulations like, you know, with the treats and, you know, toys that they can get into, and you know, puzzle toys, things like that. Anything that makes corgis work, that is going to keep them busy and keep them from being destructive and getting into things. Corgis definitely need a lot of physical stimulation to keep them busy. Like Barry, he hardly ever gets tired. So it is one thing we're constantly working on, is trying to figure out ways to tire him out. He really loves a game of fetch. That's something that I would definitely recommend teaching your corgi early on. A good game of fetch, and a great video to watch for fetch is McCann Dog's training videos, like I said, and Zak George. He also does good videos on training your dog how to fetch, and both of those are on YouTube. Look them up, they are great. Yeah, so those are my main things I want to share with you about corgis. Of course, he will be in many more of my videos. Alright, so those are just my tips that I'd want to share with you guys about corgis. Alright, so that's the last few things I wanted to share with you about corgis. Those are just the basics. There's a lot more, you know, into getting a corgi. You have to make sure that your lifestyle fits in with their schedule. You know, they can't be left alone for hours like some dogs. They need a lot of mental and physical stimulation, and I can talk about that more in further detail in another video. So you guys have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, just comment, like, you know, if you guys have a corgi, or, you know, if you're thinking about getting a corgi. I'd love to share more tips with you about, you know, corgi puppies and things like that. All right, I'll see y'all in the next video.